Yeah, I think I'll save the game.
Yep.
Crimson Flower completed.
Woohoo!
A rising flame was alight as the flow of time carved a new history for Fodlan.
We get to hear Dad
With
one
the
last
fall
time.
of Verdiad, the Holy Kingdom of Fargus and the Church of Seros both vanished into the people's memories. Fodlan was finally one unified nation, under the rule of Emperor Edelgard and the Adrestian Empire. Embracing her newfound power, Edelgard could at last set about destroying Fodlan's entrenched system of nobility and rebuild a world free from the tyranny of crests and status. Yet, beneath the surface, an unseen and silent struggle began to take shape. From her seat of power, Edelgard could at last wage war on those who slither in the dark.
Yeah, so I think I've mentioned it to you before, but it's really dumb that they don't give you, like 2 or 3 more chapters in this route, like at the end of Golden Deer, where you actually go take out those who slither.
Yeah, that would have been much better.
The children of the goddess have been defeated at last. The shape of the world will be forever changed. Humanity is free now. The world is ours once again. Can you believe it?
I'm not sure.
I see. Well, one thing is certain. The fate of this world depends on the choices we make. It's possible that people would have been happier continuing to mindlessly obey the goddess. Our work is far from over, and we can't ignore the possibility that our enemies will resurface one day. I don't know what the future holds, but come what may, will you stay by my side? You chose to protect me at the Holy Tomb. Will you choose me again? What I'm trying to say is, I need you.
Oh.
Elle, please accept this gift.
Ah.
You called me
Yes.
Elle. That means more than I can say. And this ring, it's lovely. Thank you, my dearest friend. I will happily accept it. I must admit, I feared my feelings would be unrequited. So long as I had you by my side, it never mattered how many enemies I amassed. You were all I needed. All this time, I longed to share my feelings with you, and it seems you wished for the same. Now, our wishes have come true. This feeling, it's overwhelming.
I promise to always be there for you.
I promise the same. Together we can achieve anything. We will crush those who slither in the dark and restore peace and order to Fodlan. I will then find a suitable successor and hand over the reins of the Empire. When all that is done, it will be just the two of us. I look forward to starting our life together in the light of a glorious new dawn.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, that is all we can do for now. We must remain focused on our goals. To think that I may truly call you my partner and equal now.
Yeah, so you get an end screen with everyone that you can romance, I think. I'm pretty sure. And this is Edelgard's.
Edelgard.
The solitary reign of Edelgard has come to an end. From now on, we walk this path together.
I'm pretty sure Felix's with female Byleth is really good, because I think he does the wall slam in his with female Byleth. It's so funny.
With time and care, the darkness shrouding this world will be lifted. You and I will become the light that shines over Fodlan, just as you have shined upon my life.
We did it.
Yes. Okay. Let's see what ships
I
become
think we
canon.
get credits first. Oh, battle
dang
data.
it.
This was the thing I was mentioning. So we get to see every MVP we got throughout the game,
Oh, okay.
which I think is really neat. Edelgard, Petra, Byleth, Yuri, Balthus.
Yuri.
Wow, we spread this out way more than I expected.
Oh, dang.
Hubert was an MVP at one point? That's crazy. Twice even? That's wild.
You're in Balthus.
Detta, Happy,
Detta.
Shamir,
Happy.
Lysithea. We got Lysithea around that chapter. That makes a lot of sense. Felix,
Another
Edelgard.
Petra. Oh, Sylvain. Sylvain came in and was like, I'm
Yeah,
lost.
that's his paralogue, I'm pretty sure, so that makes a lot of
that's true.
sense. This is right where we got Ash, and you probably had me use him in every single mission for a little bit.
Yeah.
Petra, double Byleth, Dorothea, Lysithea, Dorothea. This is when the mages really popped off with their skills. Oh yeah, there's my boy Yuritsa. Bernadetta, really? Interesting. And then it ended with my boy Felix.
Very fitting.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to read a lot really fast here for all. Yep, here are all the endings. All right, Lorenz, he's dead.
He's dead.
Fell in dealing with deserters. Guardian Moon 1185. Deserved.
Deserved.
Marianne did not get a pairing, unfortunately, because we probably didn't have
Aw.
enough dudes. Marianne returned home to her hero's welcome. The people praised her talent and acknowledged her as the savior of Fódlan. Her adoptive father groomed her as his successor, teaching her the power of words over weapons. By the time she claimed her inheritance, she had transformed into one of Fódlan's most skilled orators. Good for her.
Oh, that's a good ending. I like
Yeah,
that.
I think most of the characters have good solo endings. We just don't have enough. We definitely don't have enough male characters for everyone to get a paired ending. Annette returned to her
she
hometown
becomes
of.
a teacher.
Annette returned to her hometown of Ferdiad, where she took up a teaching position at the Royal School of Sorcery. She was a gifted instructor, and many of her students went on to become world-renowned sages. Though her talent for teaching was remarkable in its own right, she was perhaps best remembered for effortlessly securing the trust and respect of her many students, as well as inspiring all who knew her by living a life of kindness, cheer, and humility. Constance didn't get a paired ending? Really? For her service in war and her innovations in magic, Constance von Nouvelle was among the first to receive peerage from Emperor Edelgard. Though her noble house was given no guarantee of power on a hereditary basis, Constance made certain that House Nouvelle would be valued as a leader in magical research and development for generations to come. I thought that after we put her with Yuritsa so much at the end she'd get one. Okay, how many dudes did we not have for these chicks? We barely used Leone. Well, actually we used her in 38 battles apparently, but we didn't use her in the major stuff, I think. Leone joined up with the mercenaries formerly led by Geralt as Great as apprentice. She quickly took on a leadership role and eventually inherited the title of Bladebreaker. Came to be known as Geralt II as she began to resemble him in all things, yada yada yada.
No.
Happy didn't. Who is Linhardt with? Is he with Lysithea?
Maybe.
I'm really surprised Happy didn't get an ending. Though Happy's exact whereabouts after the war for Fódlan are not known, as widely speculated she returned to her hometown to live a quiet life. One strange occurrence is a matter of historical record, however. When the Empire began its struggle against those who slither in the dark in earnest, Imperial forces were sometimes aided by a mysterious woman leading a horde of beasts.
She became a Beastmaster.
Hubert devoted his life fully to the service of Edelgard. Operating in the light and the shadow alike, he disposed of countless burdens facing his emperor, using any means necessary. Though his ghastly appearance and imposing demeanor were ever feared, he paid his reputation little heed, focusing instead on his loyalty to the emperor. Yeah, I really wish that you could just pair the units together how you want. You can do it in the DS games in Awakening, so I think it's really dumb that they took it out in this game.
Did we not get anybody for Yuri?
After Fódlan had healed from the war, Yuri's organization spent the next few decades cultivating and controlling illicit markets. Not coincidentally, wherever Yuri's underground businesses thrived, so too did orphanages and almshouses. For the awe and respect his generosity earned him among the downtrodden, Yuri became known as the Underground Lord. Who is paired together? Why are Ingrid and Yuri not paired together? We got them to A rank, didn't we? Do they not have a paired ending in this game? I thought they would, because they have an A rank. When Galatea territory was seized, Ingrid argued strongly for the preservation of its borders. Her request was granted and she was appointed to rule. From her new position, she gave her all to ensure that the people of Galatea lived peaceful lives and put in years of hard work to reform its farming practices. Her efforts bore fruit to the people's delight, and Galatea became a land of plenty. Okay, yeah, I think I mentioned this to you. I don't know if it was during stream or not, but you actually can get, non-romantic paired endings. So we actually put Yuritsa and Mercedes together too much.
Yeah, well.
Once those who slither in the dark were finally defeated, Mercedes left home and opened a small orphanage in the Fargus region with her mother. After many years of kind service raising children who had lost their family, she received a letter bearing familiar handwriting. Its author, a prisoner in Enbar, expressed his sincerest well wishes to Mercedes and her family. Still more time passed until one day the man who wrote the letter paid her a visit. With joyful tears in her eyes, Mercedes smiled, took Emil by the hand, and then they were reunited or whatever. Bernadetta, eternal loner. Do you have to hit a certain point after an A rank to get someone to have a paired ending? I thought that it would just put the highest ones together. As soon as Bernadetta inherited House Varley from her father, she withdrew from all political discourse and focused solely on the management of the territory. Because of this and her penchant for spending long periods of time in hibernation, she became known throughout the house's history as something Varley.
No, Sylvain!
He doesn't have a pair, right, because he didn't get Mercedes. I really hate that you can't just pick who's with who, because the pairing system makes no sense in this game.
I hated my ships!
As Margrave Gaudier, Sylvain devoted his life to improving relations with the people of the Strang region. With Oration alone, he succeeded in helping create a new way of life for notables in which relics and crests were no longer viewed as necessary, though he went down in history as an extraordinary lord, yada yada, etc. Balthus. We just got, like, no paired endings for some reason. After the war for Fodlan, Balthus wholeheartedly joined the battle against those who slither in the dark. The devastation he wrought in the Battle of Shambhala was immortalized in a tapestry entitled Avatar of War, passed down for generations. Afterwards, it said he returned to Kupala and became protector of the mountain folk. I hate that you also, like, can't time these and I have to, like, read them quickly. Oh, wait, actually, pressing A, did that let me take the time to read it? Okay, yeah, Linhardt ended up with Lysithea. I'm kind of surprised by that. I thought he'd be with Happy or Marianne.
Yeah, I was hoping for either one of those two.
Yeah, this is a good paired ending, though, because you have to get specific paired endings for Lysithea to not die.
Oh, okay.
Though Linhardt researched vigorously for a method by which to remove the crest from Lysithea and save her life, the war ended before he could reach any conclusions. Lysithea, deciding she should return home to her parents, thanked Linhardt and took her leave of Garreg Mach. Not to be deterred, Linhardt set his affairs in order, renounced his noble title, and followed Lysithea to Ordelia territory to continue his research. Years later, his efforts bore fruit, and Lysithea's crests were successfully removed. With a new future ahead of her, Lysithea too renounced her noble claim, and the couple married as commoners. Instead, they raised a happy family.
Aww.
The noblest of nobles, my boy. Okay, so wait, you actually can if you just press A. I think it gives me all the time I want. That's good. After officially becoming the new Duke Ire, Ferdinand set about reforming his territory. He overcame numerous obstacles to help the lands of Ire recover. To recognize his contributions during and after the war, the Emperor appointed him as the new Prime Minister. Thereafter, he stayed by Edelgard's side and to help the Empire achieve great prosperity. Oh, okay, Caspar and Shamir.
Okay.
After the war, Caspar and Shamir used their clout as heroes to establish a mercenary company. Let's go. They branded themselves as crusaders for justice, punishing those who preyed on the weak and exploited others for their own gain. None could compete against their combined martial skill, and they became famous throughout all Fódlan. Their travels took them to every part of the world, and while Caspar's antics occasionally got him into trouble, Shamir's steady presence and firm demeanor helped to resolve matters amicably. Their stories endured as amusing anecdotes passed down through generations. I don't know, this might not actually be a romantic pairing because of the age difference. It might just be a non-one.
Yes!
Ah, Petra and Ash. You at least got one of the ones I know you wanted. Petra took Ash with her to her homeland of Bridget as if he was a prize, where she inherited the throne from her grandfather. Hey, Granddad, I'm back from Fodlan. I brought a souvenir. Presents Ash. With Ash's guidance, she established an order of knights and used that order to declare independence from Fodlan and renegotiate diplomatic ties on more equal terms. Over years of work reforming diplomatic and military policy together, Petra and Ash fell in love and eventually were married. People of Bridget warmly embraced the union. It is said that the name of the knightly order, the Blue Sun, was born of their mutual love of swimming in the sea. Oh, how nice. Let's go!
Yes!
This is the only one that truly matters! Woo! Even after the war's end, skirmishes continued to break out across Fodlan. Learning that there were still places where he could fight, Felix abandoned his noble title and chose to make a living with his sword. He traveled the land and some years later found himself in Inbar. There he encountered Dorothea, who had just resumed her career as a songstress in the opera. From that time on, no matter how far Felix traveled, he always found himself drawn back to the opera house. It is said that when Dorothea saw his face in the crowd, she sang only for him.
Aww.
It's a bit of a bittersweet one, I like it. Ah, the last one.
Yes.
Byleth and Edelgard ended the tyranny of a godlike being. Byleth was wounded and lost the power of the progenitor god, but it mattered not, as he and Edelgard had each other. To ensure, man, he's gonna, during all of their, any marital spats they run into, he's gonna miss the ability to rewind time. Like, a lot.
Yeah.
To ensure lasting peace, the two fought against those who slither in the dark, and we couldn't possibly put those last two chapters into the game, please stop asking. To ensure lasting peace, the two fought yada yada. To ensure a society where people can rise and fall by their own merits, they spent their lives reforming the antiquated class system. They achieved much in their time together, and it's said that they were sometimes spotted leaving the palace to privately enjoy the world they had created. How they spent those precious moments, none but the two of them will ever know.
Oh.
Not as many paired endings as I'm used to. I think it's partially because we had too many units.
Yeah, there was a little bit too many.
It's fun.
But we got Petra and Ash, and of course we got Felix and Dorothea.
Yeah, we have Felix and Dorothea. That's the one that matters. And now I think it's the credits. Indeed it is. This is a different credit song than plays at the end of every other route, because every other route, I think, is Edge of Dawn. I think, chat will correct me, but I think it's Edge of Dawn, which is also called, like, Ballad of Resvelg. Basically, it's like a song to Edelgard because she dies. So they don't play it in this credit scene because Edelgard lives. This is the only route where you don't kill Edelgard.
Right. Aww. Yeah, it's such a bummer though. Like I really wanted Constance and Yuritsa to get together.
It's very dumb because in Awakening, and I think it works the same way in Fates, I played Fates less than I did Awakening, when you get people to A rank, if they have a paired ending, like if they can be married, they have an S rank, and then you choose to do it or not. And when you have them do the S rank, then they're locked out of all others because they have their life partner now. Some of them aren't like straight up marriage, some of them are like how Yuritsa and Mercedes are, with just like like non-romantic pairings, but like the highest rank.
I like that better.
It is better. It's like my biggest complaint about Three Houses, really, is that you can't just choose who ends up with you. I think it's very dumb. It also means that you don't, because you would get in Awakening, and again, I'm pretty sure Fates works the same way. In Awakening, you would get, when you chose to S rank them together, you would then get a support for the S rank where they like agreed to, like they proposed or like ended up together or whatever.
Aww.
Instead of just getting like a little like, here's what happened to them after bit like they do in this game. It's way better in that. I wish that they had done the same thing in Three Houses.
There's probably a lot of things in, like adding to more 2 chapters and other things.
You know, someone who's been watching the playthrough, I can't remember their name, but they comment a lot and leave a lot of like lore stuff and like game dev stuff, and I appreciate. Thank you for that. You know who you are. I can't remember your name. I'm sorry, but said that, and I agree with that. There's really very rarely has there been a game as deserving as Three Houses for getting like a definitive edition.
Please.
Like a full remake, because it was very clearly rushed. People love it. People would absolutely pay for it and like buy it again to have like an upgraded version with like maybe adding some supports, letting you choose romances, but specifically like finishing some of the routes that like were lacking. Because he was explaining when you play through Golden Deer kind of like copies Golden Deer's route kind of copies the church's route story-wise, which doesn't make a lot of sense. And he pointed out that like it makes a lot of sense in Three Hope, because I told you how in the story in Three Hopes, when Edelgard, she immediately breaks ties with those who slither, and then she goes to war with the Golden Deer and the Blue Lions. And after battling the Golden Deer for a bit and having some trouble against them, she like forms an alliance with them to take out the church, which makes way more sense. In the Golden Deer route in this game, you like take the church's side on the Golden Deer route, which really doesn't make sense with Claude as a character. Like Claude going against the church makes way more sense. It makes more sense for him to side with Edelgard, but they like didn't have enough time to make his route. I think that there had been I think it was Blue Lions and the church route were the ones that like didn't get rushed, or at least not as much. Those were like the first ones that they were making when they made the game. And then when they ran out of budget and time, they had to speed up Golden Deer and Crimson Flower, which is why you get stuff where like a lot of Golden Deer stuff copies the church route, and then you have like Edelgard's paralogue being literally a carbon copy of Hilda's paralogue. They didn't have time to make 2 unique paralogues for the 2 of them.
Yeah, that's such a bummer. I really do hope that like they do just decide to just do a definitive edition or something.
I think the time has already passed, unfortunately, because they made Engage, but we can still hope maybe one day, maybe like a 10-year anniversary. This game came out in like 2019, so it's like 6 years old. Maybe like a 10-year anniversary or something. They'll be like, you know what? What if we just release Three Houses again? You think that'd make us a lot of money? Maybe they've been planning to all along. And this is so scummy, but it's Nintendo. So what else is new? And this is one of the, much like how when I say throughout this playthrough, like whenever a cutscene or something happens and I'm like, man, that is like, if this was any other game, I would be saying like, this is unplayable because of this. But I'm like, but because it's Three Houses, I let it get away with all of the corners it cuts. If they were like, listen, we were waiting to do a definitive edition for Three Houses for the Switch 2, and now we're gonna launch it with the Switch 2 coming out, I'd be like, man, you guys love money too much. But also, I've wanted this for 6 years.
I've wanted this for 6 years. Oh, it doesn't work. I was gonna do it. I can't do I've been following for 30 minutes. Can't parody it, dang it.
Oh, but man, if like the Switch 2 happened and they were like, what if we released like an upgraded version of Three Houses? I would be like, man, I hate that I'm gonna pay you for this.
Is Cronia's voice actor Tails? Colleen O'Shaughnessy?
I think that's Tails' voice actress, yeah.
Huh.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, the name sounds, that looks like the name that was on the
sure
Sonic movie poster, so I
That means she probably did. Oh, I don't think I ever told you, or maybe I did mention it, but you get the actual Monica, because the Monica we meet is already Kranya, who's like killed her and taken her place, right? You get the actual Monica like as a unit in Three Hopes, and she's pretty cool. She is obsessed with Edelgard, and that's kind of her personality, but I think they do a good job of not making her annoying with it. I thought she was really fun in Three Hopes.
I may have to try Three Hopes.
I would recommend it. It's very good.
Possibility, especially since now that I've at least played, at least I've sat through a playthrough of Three Houses to like have that for reference.
Yeah, I do
and
think.
And also now I'm more familiar with the characters too, so.
Yeah, Three Hopes unfortunately doesn't do romance at all, so you don't really get that aspect.
Oh.
But its overarching storyline to me is so much better. They do better. Byleth actually gets like a little bit of character, which is great.
Hey!
Yeah, so I think they just do a lot better with it in general. The only thing it's missing is that they just really dropped the ball romance-wise in both Three Houses and Three Hopes, I feel like.
Yeah.
Can I speed this up at all without just like skipping it? I don't know how long these, like you guys had this many people working on this game and still it came out like 3/4 finished.
To be fair to them, it's like to be fair to them again, it's like probably like you said they were working on it and then either the budget ran out or they got crunched. So
yeah.
I don't want to blame the devs. Usually there's always something else going on behind the scenes because nobody wants to make I doubt there's any again, any of the actual people working on it want to produce a rushed product.
Yeah.
It's something else at the top. Like there's somebody else at the top who's like, oh, we need this out by this point.
Yeah, it always is.
Oh, we're cutting corners we're pulling team away to do something else.
Yeah, it always is. Oh, Kumara, Haru had a hand in this?
Oh, dang.
Nakamura, Azami from Food Wars had a hand in this? Yo, how long are these credits, though?
Man, like, all credits they should make all credits like what you do in Super Smash Bros. Melee, where you can just shoot at the credits.
Yeah, I think that these credits specifically could have had 2 scrolling lines at the same time. There's more than enough room on the screen, and it's simply too slow.
Or they could have done, like, art or something.
Oh, yeah, also, like, concept art is always a good one. Literally anything other than this.
Yeah, just a black background. Like, can't we, like, I don't know, like, just still images of the characters would be cool. Like, oh, you recruited all these characters? Like, here's images of
Here's
them,
Lorenz's rotting corpse.
I don't know. Just anything but a blank screen.
All right, these credits are not respecting my time, so I'm not respecting them.
Yeah.
This is what I always say. If it takes too long for the credits, then you're no longer respecting my time. I don't have time to do it. Hey, we did it.
Yay.
We did it. Anything you'd like to say at the very end, Jet?
It was a good time. I'm glad to finally have seen the story of Three Houses. I definitely understand that I lament the fact that there was a lot of potential, but it didn't quite. It left some gaps, but overall, it was a good ride.
It was a good time. The thing that always saves Three Houses, no matter what, is that the majority of the characters are great.
Yeah, that they are awesome characters, and it's why it's such a bummer that they don't quite get that ending. They
don't get the full potential use, but
yeah,
better to have them than to not.
Yeah, at least it's better that it's good characters and so ending, but then bad characters and that are just basically just being dragged, that are just props for the story.
Yeah. All right, well, for all of you watching, hope you enjoyed this Black Eagles playthrough. I did Blue Lions with Slyro on his channel. Slyro did Golden Deer with me on this channel, and now I've done Black Eagles with Jet. The only route I haven't done on the channel is the church, and I don't think I ever will. I don't think Slyro plans to do it on his either, so don't hold out hope. I do still want to. We've done Black Eagles and Golden Deer for 3 hopes on the channel. I do still want to do Blue Lions, because I've never gotten to play as Felix in 3 hopes, because you can't recruit him in the other routes in that game. But, yeah, they're more strict with the recruits in 3 hopes is the other downside to it. But, because they're a little more strict with the story. But anyways,
Got it.
probably we'll do 3 hopes Blue Lions at some point down the line. I doubt I'll do it this year. I need a bit of a stretch between Warriors games, I feel like. Also because Warriors games don't do super well on the channel in the first place, I feel like. But I want to do the Blue Lions one because I really like 3 hopes. But, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to catch future playthroughs live, link to my Twitch channel description. I'd love to see you there. Or keep watching on YouTube. I appreciate your support either way. And until next time, farewell.
Bye-bye!